Okay, we may have overslept just a little bit, but the sun's out, we're on our way to Mino Falls, life is good, let's get over there. Okay, we have arrived at Mino Falls. Well, actually we haven't, because it's a like 3 kilometre trek up the mountain to go and see the waterfall. However, the scenery on the way up is just mental. So there's like a big gorge that runs down the mountain. There's some beautiful looking houses kind of built into the mountainside. It's a lovely sunny day, and there's also a sign saying beware of the monkeys. So yeah, I am a little bit nervous about monkeys, because monkeys are cute, right? But they're feisty little buggers, you know. If they can get a bit nasty, so I don't want them to nab my camera, or even worse, like, you know, scratch up my face or something. We'll stay away from the monkeys. We'll observe them from a distance. Okay, I think we're coming up to the Bug Museum now, which I'm guessing you have to pay to come into, but the bit I've just walked up is completely free. You get to see some stunning views, some great architecture, and it's just very peaceful. All that for the price of £0, which is always going to be a banger. I am going to go in the Bug Museum just because I am quite interested. But Mino Falls is another 1.5 kilometres from this position. However, it is nice because it's a gradual incline. It's not like you're just walking up like a 90-degree angle. Okay, turns out I won't be going to the Bug Museum because they don't accept card. They only take cash, which is a bit annoying because I heard they have like a stunning butterfly house in there. But you know, we're not here for that. We're here to see Mino Falls, so we'll carry on with our hike up the mountain. Okay, wow, I have just caught a glimpse of the temple on the way up to the falls, and it is stunning. Look at that, just nestled in the Japanese mountains. It's even got like a, I don't know if you can see that, a little gold phoenix on the top, which is a lot more prevalent in real life than it is on the camera, but it is just stunning. The colour, that red colour really makes it pop, especially with the backdrop of those, you know, green luscious trees. Cool, I could be like the next David Attenborough low-key, but it is just amazing. You know, being in a place like this, it makes you just want to, you know, become a monk, take a pledge of silence and sit in the hills by the river, just for the rest of your days, you know. Now here in Japan, there are 2 types of religion. You've got Shintoism, which is the much older traditional Japanese religion, and then you've got Buddhism, which is a bit newer. Obviously both ancient, but it came to Japan later than Shintoism. This temple was built in the 1300s, so if I had to guess, I have no idea which religion this temple is. If I had to guess, I'd have to go Shintoism. You know what? The brilliance of modern day technology, it is one Google search away, so I will find out what that is and tell you in the next clip. Okay, so the temple is called the Ruanaji, probably butchering that, but the Ruanaji Shrine or Temple. And it is, of course, Buddhist. So I had a 50-50 chance. I used a bit of logic, but I was completely wrong. So kind of embarrassing. Now, I believe this path just winds the whole way round the mountain up to the very top where Mino Falls actually is, the waterfall of Mino. And I've actually seen a couple people running up it, which is just mental because it's, you know, I mean, it's not the steepest thing in the world, but it's a gradual incline that would just go on for kilometres. So we've got some David Goggins just running up here. Who's going to move the boat? Who's going to move the boat? But the higher I get up, the more humid it gets. I mean, it is getting so humid here. I feel like I'm trekking through the Amazon rainforest or something. Like, we are properly high in the mountains, right? And there are houses up here. This is a shop, but there are houses up here. Like, imagine popping down to the shops, you know, going to the local co-op, and you've got a 3-kilometre drive with roads that look like this. I mean, it just doesn't seem feasible. Okay, we've made it, guys. Wow, look at this. Okay, that's enough sitting down and doing absolutely nothing. I think we're going to venture further up the mountain because there is like some observation deck up there or something, so let's go check that out. Right, that waterfall was truly stunning. Now I'm on the mission to not only find a monkey, but also I think there's an observation deck somewhere. There's a sign for it saying 2 kilometers that way. So let's venture into the darkness. Okay, so it turns out this is quote unquote the observatory. A little bit disappointing, but we will move. I mean, it is stunning, not the building. I mean, it just looks like a lump of concrete, but the scenery, you know, it's pretty special. Okay, it may be a huge, ugly lump of concrete, but it does give you one hell of a view. Now, just standing or even sitting out here is just awe-inspiring. I mean, it is so beautiful. I mean, the forest is so dense, there's so much wildlife. It just makes time go by that much quicker. Especially when the sun's out. I mean, on cue, look, the sun illuminates. I mean, there's an ocean of green behind me, and in said ocean of green is a monkey, or plural, monkeys, and I'm going to find said monkey somehow, some way. I'm going to channel my inner Steve Backshall and go on a mission. I do think they can be quite aggressive, so I might have to keep my distance, but I am going to find one, or attempt to. And I love that, probably down to the fact that the observatory is just a huge, ugly lump of concrete in the forest. There is no one else here. Like, the waterfall itself, which is only about 100 metres to my left, is heaving, right? There's tons of tourists. Still lovely, but it's heaving. Here, it's tranquil, it's quiet, and it's peaceful. So I found this, right? This is as far as my camera zooms in. I'll go a bit closer in a minute. I'll circle it in the edit as well. But there is a fluffy animal laying down over there. And I'm 99% sure it's a cat. But just to make sure it's not a monkey, I'm going to go have a little closer look. Okay, I can now confirm that the animal I saw is a sleeping cat. I thought I'd found a monkey. Okay, so I just met a lovely individual. He doesn't want his face or name to be on YouTube, so I'm not going to put anything on. I'm going to respect his wishes. But he said he knew a spot, and bro wasn't lying. He knew a spot. So he took me up here. So it's at this point the wind messes up the audio pretty badly, so I'll save your ears the courtesy of hearing that monstrosity. But essentially, a local took me up to an old hiking trail, and I finally managed to see some monkeys. Now, these are Japanese macaques, better known as snow monkeys, and they blend in so well with the shrubbery of the forest floor, it's unbelievable. Anyway, enough of me yapping on, let's get back to the clips. And we are in a very remote part of the forest. I mean, we're barely even on a path at the moment. We're just hanging on at the side of a basically cliff face. It's very sketchy. But down there is a Mino monkey, a wild monkey. The first time in my life I've seen a wild monkey. It's almost quite sad to think that just humans have forced them out of their own natural territory, and they now probably reside on probably only this peak and the peak next to it, the untouristy. I mean, there is a hiking trail that goes through both of them, but again, it's, you know, it's barely a hiking trail. It's not very known about. I mean, a local brought me here, and I haven't seen anyone since he left me about half an hour ago. You can, if I point up there, they are playing in the trees just behind me, but they're so easy to miss. They blend in so well with not only the tree bark being quite a dark brown colour, but also the shrubbery, like the dead leaves and debris on the floor. You just wouldn't see them. Okay, one last little nugget of information. As I was recording that last segment, not only are the monkeys calling now, but a woodpecker, I believe it was a woodpecker, started just going ham on the tree next to me. So I stopped to have a look at that. But yeah, enough wildlife for this vlog. Right, okay. Monkey section over. Let's head down the mountain and let's head home. As I venture back down the mountain, it looks like I'm in a scene from Jurassic Park 3, and any moment now a Spinosaurus is just going to emerge from the undergrowth and absolutely scran me for dinner. Okay, good morning. It's the next day, it's around 7 AM, and we are on our way to go hop on a coach trip to go around the coast of southern Japan, which I'm really excited for, but I don't really know what I've signed up for. So obviously I'll just take you along with me, film some of the stuff, talk about it afterwards, or while I'm there, who knows. But yeah, let's get on a coach and let's go see some more of Japan. So our first stop of the coach trip was the small town of Amon Hashidate, which is where a famous sandbar stretches for over 3.3 kilometers into the Miyazi Bay. Our tour guide let us have 2 hours to look around the town, so naturally I found a chairlift straight to the top of a mountain to get a better view. So our first stop of the tour is Amahashidate. Now I'm probably butchering that pronunciation, but this is one of Japan's 3 great views. Now in the little montage you've just seen, you will know I took the chairlift up to the top of the mountain that overlooks the bay, and the views from there are breathtaking. I mean, look at this, it's densely covered in pine trees, it's teeming with life. I've heard so many eagles here, and if I just flip the camera real quick for you guys, we could genuinely be in California right now. That's how luscious and golden the sand is. And I love how diverse Japan is in terms of biomes. I mean, you can go down south, like I mentioned, Okinawa, or even here, which is just off Kyoto, and see golden beaches. Or you can go up north to the mountains and go skiing and snowboarding. The country just has such a vast array of climates. Now this sandbar is about an hour-and-a-half drive from Osaka, which isn't too bad, and it's well worth a day trip, but I only have about an hour-and-a-half here, so I'm going to speed round the island, or the sandbar, and head back to the coach, ready for stop number 2. Now the houses on my left over here are just completely normal traditional Japanese housing. However, the ones on the right are quite special. They are called funeias, which essentially means they act as boat garages. So they act as a house and somewhere to store a boat, and they are built right on the waterfront, as you'll see as we round this corner. So you can see the houses I just mentioned on the left run down here along the coastline of the cove. And these houses allow for fishermen to have somewhere to store their boats. But yeah, I made my way through this torii gate here, and this actually leads to a little forest shrine, which is very picturesque. So let's go check that out. I mean, look at that. As you come out the forest, it just opens up into that bay, and all you can hear is seagulls and the sound of the waves. It's very therapeutic. I find it so easy to just get lost in the beauty of the scenery in places like this. I mean, you've got a beautiful crystal clear water over there with a picturesque little quaint seaside village. And then you come up here and you have this, shrine that's just built into the hillside essentially. And they have so many of these shrines just dotted around all of Japan, and they all have this unique feeling to them. You can hear the eagles to my right, there's butterflies to my left, there's different birds calling in the trees. It's very almost eerie, but in a beautiful way. And what I've really noticed whilst being in Japan is not only do they have temples like this or shrines everywhere, scattered throughout Japan, but they have kind of a sacred feeling. Once you walk through that torii gate, you really do feel like you're stepping into another world. And these shrines are just incredibly peaceful. Now, rather annoyingly, we only get 30 minutes here, and I would have liked to have just sat here for maybe a couple of hours. But you know, got to abide by the rules of the coach trip, so that's fine. We're going to head back to the coach, and I don't know if we're going to a third place or whether we're going home, but I would like to see a little bit more. Now, whilst this coach trip has been good and enjoyable, it also cost nearly 60 quid, which is the first time on my whole trip here that I feel like something might be overpriced. Of course, this is a very touristy activity. I mean, it's run by a tourist company, so it says it in the name. But this might be the first thing that I genuinely probably wouldn't recommend. I definitely recommend the places I've come, but I'd either hire out a car or a moped, or just get the train down here yourself. I mean, it might take a couple of hours, but I think it's worth doing it yourself because you can take as long as you want then doing what you want to do rather than being constrained to time frames. And that might be the best bit about this village. It's not trying to be a tourist destination. Like if this was in the UK, right, there'd be a whacking great pier halfway into the bay filled with arcades and popcorn machines. You know, there'd be a local nitty begging for 50p over there. But here, it's not like that at all. They know, this place knows what it is. It knows it's beautiful, which is part of the reason it's so special. Okay, good morning everybody. Today on the itinerary is we are heading to Kyoto. Now, I'm gonna come forward. I've already actually been to Kyoto before, right at the start of this trip. I didn't record my first 12 days here because I was with a friend. And also the reason this video is incredibly generalised and a bit all over the place is because this is just kind of a compression of some of my favourite days in Japan. I've been here recording single videos as well, you know, ones with more of a storyline and structure. So soon we've got the Surviving in Japan with only £5 video coming out, and then after that there'll be the going to the most rural village in Japan, which I'm really excited for that to come out. But yeah, this is more of a generalised vlog of what a month in Japan kind of looks like, even though it's only a reality about 13 days of footage. But you know, I hope you've enjoyed it nevertheless. But today we are heading to Kyoto, as I think I've already said. But Kyoto is either, I don't know, it's up there with Osaka as my favourite city in Japan. So yeah, let's get the train. It's about an hour from Osaka, so we'll get the train, we'll head over there, and let's get exploring. Come on. So before I actually reveal what I'm doing in Kyoto today, I thought I'd play a little snippet of my last visit with my best friend, Kian.
The next station is Kyoto.
Okay, we have finally arrived in Kyoto, but I'm absolutely starving, so I'm going to find somewhere to eat, quickly eat, and then we'll go over to the sites and look around the city. Well, that was absolutely bloody delicious. I went to a restaurant called Seven Taps. The waitress was so lovely, bless her, and she was telling me how she actually studies English. She's 19 and she comes all the way from Nara, which is like a 2-hour train journey every single day, and then works on the weekends in Kyoto as well. So she studies in Kyoto and commutes, which I found amazing. 2-hour commute each day, that must be long. But anyway, We're full up. Let's go look at some of the sights now. Now, Kyoto was actually once the capital city of Japan. It's home to about 1.4 million people, and there are over 2,000 shrines and temples here. Look, just as I mentioned temples, there's one right there. I mean, they are dotted everywhere here, which is why I would say if you are going to come to Kyoto, don't get a taxi or the train anywhere. Just walk it. I know I'm walking for an hour and a bit, but I'm happy to do that because the stuff you'll just see just walking the city will be stunning. And I mean, it's a very touristy city. I mean, it's arguably been hit the hardest by Japan's boom in tourism. I mean, it's not a city, you know, designed for mass amounts of people. However, people do flock here because of its incredible beauty. However, due to the fact that there are well over 2,000 temples and shrines located here, if you just walk around a little bit, you can find some real hidden gems. Right, we have arrived at the Imperial Palace and National Gardens. So let's go check this out. The Japanese know how to make an entrance, don't they? Look at that bloody gate. It's huge. What a lovely little bridge that overlooks a lovely little pond. So down this long gravel path is the Kyoto Imperial Palace. Now, it was built in 794 AD, so a long time ago, which on paper would make it one of the oldest buildings in Japan. Now, I believe, I might be wrong here, but this got retired as a palace in 1869 when the capital of Japan became Tokyo, taking over from Kyoto. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe it was just retired as a palace and then just became a landmark after that. Either way, this is a very old building steeped in centuries of history. So yeah, let's go check it out, shall we? Right, this is, well, less than ideal. It's a bit of a minor roadblock. It's meant to close in an hour and a half, but the gates are shut and there's also barriers up, so I'm assuming we're not allowed in. I'll whack a picture of it on the screen now because it is a drop-dead gorgeous building. But that is a real shame. I don't think I can get a picture of it. That's annoying. I mean, even the gates themselves to the palace are mental. I mean, you're just not getting in there, are you? Like, imagine in the olden days you were trying to siege this place. I mean, the walls are about 30 feet high. I mean, this is not only beautiful, but massive. And then you'd have a load of like samurais and stuff standing outside. You just wouldn't want to mess with them, would you? Like, you just die. There's no way you're getting in there. Okay, we've just got a misery compiler. The gardens are fully booked as well. This is pure nightmare fuel. I've walked an hour here. The palace is not only shut, but the gardens are fully booked. Now, everywhere else in Japan that has gardens, you can just go in for free and you don't have to book a slot or anything, but here it's obviously different. That's a real shame because I would have liked to have seen them. I should have probably planned this day out better, but oh well. Right, our backup option, we're going to go to a different set of gardens. It's even got a mini bamboo forest in it, this place. I bought the tickets online, so I'm already guaranteed to get in, don't you worry. Okay, we are next heading to a place called the Stepping Stones of Kyon, which are essentially stepping stones over the river that runs through Kyoto. Okay, quick change of plan. I've seen the Botanical Gardens. It's about a 40-minute walk away, and it's open for 2 more hours. However, I'm going to get a taxi. I know I said don't get taxis, but I'm going to break my own rule. Get a taxi there because it's only about 10 minutes in a taxi, and go to the Botanical Gardens for 2 hours. Then we're going to see the Stepping Stones on our way back to the station, which is about a 2-hour walk. So it works out better that way, I think. And about 1 minute later, our taxi has arrived. Konnichiwa. Okay, and just like that, we've arrived at the Botanical Gardens. Gonna have a little gander around. We've got about an hour and a half till this shuts. So we'll have a quick whiz round, see what this place is saying, and then we'll head off back to the steps. I'm going to walk all the way back to the station, which is now about a 2-hour walk. This shuts at 5, and I think the last train's at 8:50, so we've got a little bit of time to play with. I'll go over those steps in the river, and then we'll go back to Osaka. Now, I absolutely love going to Botanical Gardens because I think wherever you are in the world, you should 100% always go and check out that city's botanical gardens. I'm such an advocate for that because I think it's a great way to spend a day. Now, I've been walking around for about 40 minutes, and if I'm brutally honest, the Kyoto Botanical Gardens, nowhere near as good as the Osaka ones, in my opinion. You know, flame me all you want in the comments, but it's just not for me. Okay, we have arrived in the bamboo forest. And what I'm going to say is I wouldn't really call it a forest. It's about two patches of bamboo next to each other. How does the shot looking up? Oh, that looks pretty cool, actually. The direct up shot looks cool. Like, if you were to see that, you think, oh, that's awesome. But then I pan the camera down. Less awesome. Right, the botanical garden shuts in about 40 minutes. I'm going to walk around, get my money's worth, you know. I've paid to come in here. I might as well stay till close. And then we're going to head to the stepping stones. Then we're going to do a bit of shopping. And then we will head back to Osaka. Because whilst I'm in Kyoto, I do really want to go and see the Nintendo and the Pokemon Center here, because I've seen both of them in Tokyo and Osaka, and they're some of the coolest shops around. Japanese just do themed shops, right? I mean, the Studio Ghibli themed shop. There's one in Kyoto as well, which if it's in the same street, I'm going to check that out as well. But they just do those themed shops, right? There's like a Miffy, a Hello Kitty themed shop, a Kirby themed shop, a Sonic theme. They just have a theme shop for absolutely anything you could imagine, and they're all worth checking out. Okay, so that concludes our visit to the Kyoto Botanical Gardens. There are some very pretty areas of the garden, of course. However, I mean, it's hard to say it's not worth £2.50, because some of it is very pretty, but I would say it's one of the weakest botanical gardens I've ever been to from any city across the planet, which is kind of a shame because Kyoto is one of the most naturally beautiful cities I've ever been to. It doesn't really add up, but yeah, let's head over to the stepping stones. Okay, so now we've finished in the botanical gardens, we're going to head to the Koijin stepping stones that obviously cross the Kamo River, which is the river that runs all the way through Kyoto, and it is incredibly beautiful. So that is the Kamo River. Now, last time I was walking alongside this river, I saw a Japanese water rat, or I think it's called a Nitaria or something like that. I don't know what the scientific name for it is. Basically, it looks like a beaver, but with a rat's tail. I'm actually scared of rats, but weirdly enough, I wasn't really scared of this thing because it looked more like a beaver than a rat. They are huge though. I'm hoping I can see another one so I can show you, but they like to hide in this kind of like dense shrubbery alongside the river. But yeah, let's head back down to the stepping stones and then we're going to go shopping. That's a Japanese water rat. That's the thing I was talking about that I saw last time along this river. They're actually quite graceful, you know. It looks like a miniature capybara. And just like that, we have arrived at the stepping stones. Yeah, realistically they are just stepping stones, aren't they? But we'll cross them because we're going to do touristy stuff. Cool, you have to have a bit of a look, they are quite a distance from each other. You have to have a bit of a leap on you to get to the other one. Some of them are in the shape of a tortoise though, or a turtle, so I guess that's quite cool. We've reached the middle. Yippee-doo. Right, let's go back. Don't really know what I expected. It's like opening a can of beans and being disappointed you didn't get a steak. I mean, it is stepping stones at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice little detour, isn't it? Honestly, I am a consumer's dream. You whack Nintendo or Pokemon or Studio Ghibli on anything and I'll just buy it because it has a face I recognise on it is so bad. I've actually spent too much money on just junk. Right, we've finished up our brief shopping trip in Kyoto. I had a cultural dinner of McDonald's, and now it's time to walk back to the station, but my phone's dead, so I'm going to have to do it off pure memory. So this should be fun, a little mini game to end off the night. But I was meant to go out tonight, like I'm meant to get home, get changed, shower, and then go out. I kind of can't be arsed now, so that's up in the air right now. It depends what time we'll get home. But let's get the train back to Osaka. Right, mission success. We managed to navigate our way back to Kyoto Station. It might have helped, just slightly, that there's a whacking great light-up tower next to Kyoto Station. Look, there was a fair few amount of failures. The Imperial Palace was shut, the Imperial Gardens were shut, the Botanical Gardens weren't great, and we were forced to have a Mackey's and my phone died. But other than that, it's been a pretty good day in Kyoto. And just like that, we have arrived back in Osaka. It's been a long day. I wouldn't say it was the most successful one, but it's been enjoyable. You know, we saw Nintendo World, we went to a couple of shrines, temples, we got some good footage, and overall it was just quite a peaceful day. Now it's got to the point where I've been in Osaka for nearly 31 days, and it's really starting to feel like home. Now obviously I'm excited to get back to life, you know, editing for my other YouTube channel, seeing my friends and family. I'm excited for all of that, obviously, without a doubt. But part of me, a huge part of me that is going to miss Japan immensely. I mean, most of this trip has been done by myself. I spent 10 days with my friend Kian, who came out for the first 10, and then I spent 21 days by myself. And I've enjoyed every moment of it. Now I am in fact in Japan for 3 more days, but I'm not going to vlog that. This is going to be where I say goodbye for the more general vlog. I mean, it's been about a week of content submerged or compressed into one video, and that's what this vlog is. It's a more general vlog of what I've done in Japan, just some highlights and bits. And I guess this is where I'm signing off my first travel vlog. So thank you all very much for watching the first video on this channel. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you couldn't tell, I wholeheartedly love and recommend Japan. If you ever have the opportunity to go for it. Honestly, my favourite country I've ever visited. This feels really quite sad actually, signing out my first video. But yes, thank you all so much for watching. Love you all very much. Please do like and subscribe if you did enjoy. And stay tuned for the coming videos centered around different subjects in Japan. Alright, love you all. Goodbye.